Vampyr, believe it or not, is a game in which you play as a vampire in early 20th century London during the Spanish flu epidemic. And it's a game that not many people even know about. It was announced last year, and since then it's had a few announcements here and there, but really hasn't caught the grip or the attention of the media. And so not many people know about it or know much about it. And so that's why today I'm going to tell you 7 reasons why you should be excited about Vampyr. Number 1, it is being developed by Don't Nod Entertainment, which is based in France. Now, this is the same company that developed Life is Strange, which won the BAFTA Award for Best Story in 2016, and is known for being one of the first games to really publicize the butterfly effect. In other words, every decision, however small, that you make affects your future decisions, the future elements and events in the world. And so based on even a small conversational difference, you could see a vastly different ending compared to your friend who chose to say something more encouraging rather than passive aggressive in that one conversation. So there's a lot of hype behind this because this company tends to take the time to create branching narratives, and Vampyr is no different. Proof in point that number 1 is true, the developer has made it very, very clear that pacifist playthroughs will be possible in this semi-open world RPG. Specifically, that if you go and manage to go through the entire game without killing a single person, mind you, you are a vampire, so that's not going to be an easy activity, because killing and actually absorbing the life force, so to speak, of other people, of NPCs, is how you level up. Killing people is how you gain power as a vampire. So in the game, it's how you gain XP. And if you don't kill anybody, then you don't gain any XP. So you will never level up, which is why it's considered to be an incredibly difficult thing to do. But the developers said, we want to reward you if you are willing to roleplay so strictly as a vampire doctor and stick just to the doctor element and not kill anybody. You will actually get a unique ending of one of 4 endings that is completely unique and different if you manage to go through the game without killing anybody. And following up number 2, we have number 3, which is that there are 4 very distinct endings to this game. Now, this isn't talking about sort of the Until Dawn different endings where they say, oh, well, there's 256 different endings technically. But the only real difference is that in the ending cutscene, they say, we have 5 survivors, 6 survivors, whatever. It's not like that. These are 4 very distinct endings where the world has completely different outcomes. And it's completely based on your decisions in the game. And for number 4, we have that the game is set in London in 1918, in the midst of the Spanish flu epidemic. Now, this apparently was not their first choice. It wasn't their instinct. They initially looked at putting the game in 1950, but realized that the sort of Victorian era during the Spanish flu really worked well with the whole vampire theme. With people being sick, you could have quality of their blood change, so certain people's blood is worth more to you even though they might be younger, or they might have some prowess in society, or they might be a doctor taking care of somebody else, or a father taking care of their son. Whatever it is, you have a lot more availability to create those gray moral choices with a setting such as the Spanish flu, which is why I think it's such an interesting and intriguing place to set a vampire game. And at number 5, we have the fact that the map is made up of 4 distinct districts, each of which can devolve into utter chaos if the average health decreases past a certain threshold. Now, this is not just due to the Spanish flu, but you, as a doctor, have the ability to either help improve public morale, public health as a doctor, or decrease it and ruin it as a vampire. And this is something that's going to come back time and again as you play through the game. This choice to either help people, your sort of good guy, light doctor side, or to ruin it or serve your own self-interest, gain more power, whatever it is, which is the vampire, the dark side. And so this duality is going to come back time and again, and it's even reflected in the structuring of the map. And at number 6, we have, as I already stated, the fact that gray morality is going to take a central role in this game. The developer has said time and again that they want to give you difficult choices and force you to explore this dualism or this duality of the protagonist's survival as a vampire while also being a doctor. And they're going to do this by contrasting the adherence to the Hippocratic Oath, the doctor's side, helping people, making other people's lives better, or by improving your own standing, gaining more power for yourself. In the game world, leveling up, gaining abilities that you didn't previously have, but at the cost of betraying your Hippocratic Oath, betraying your human side, betraying those around you. And this is something that's going to come back time and time and time again as you play the game. They're going to force you to make choices, even in small moments, passing moments that you wouldn't have actually thought anything was going on. In the gameplay that they demonstrated, this was actually shown off, where the player was going through the world, and it didn't even stand out. It wasn't even a particularly noticeable moment. But a man goes up to a merchant, a shop owner, and threatens him, says that the merchant owes him money, and if he doesn't pay him back soon, he will be sorry, and there will be massive problems if he doesn't, blah, blah, blah. Classic sort of gangster stuff or shark loan stuff. And as the guy turns away and starts walking away, you go up to him and you ask him, hey, what was that all about? What's up? And he mentions in a passing comment that he's got to get home to his boy. So at that moment, if you're paying attention, then you learn that this guy is a father. He's got a young boy that relies on him. In the midst of the Spanish flu, he relies on his father. So you look at that, and then you can see that the father has the purest blood. So in other words, he would help you upgrade the most. He would be the most valuable to your progression or your strength building on the vampiric side. But the merchant doesn't seem to have as much to lose. But you also have to think that while the father does have a young boy that he's taking care of and that relies on him, the merchant owns the store. And if you save the merchant, then the store will flourish and everything will improve and the money will come back to the town perhaps, and maybe the medicine will come in even easier and people will have their lives improved and it'll actually save more people in the long run. These are all questions you have to ask yourself. All questions that wouldn't initially pop right up. And so you're going to have the ability to really role play this and decide, do I want to serve my own selfish interests and just improve my strength, get the most abilities I can, kill everyone involved, and just not even think about what I'm doing? Or you can actually go through and try to judge and weigh these gray moral choices and moral decisions adequately, which I frankly cannot wait for. And number 7 is that the game is being developed with the Unreal Engine 4, and that in August of 2016, Don't Nod Entertainment actually came out, made a statement, and said that they had just overcome a major development hurdle, which was going to allow them to get the game fully ported onto the Xbox One without any downgrading or downscaling, anything at all. It will be the same game that ships on the PS4 and PC, which is a big deal because just in terms of technical specs, the Xbox One does struggle. So it's good to hear that the game is going to ship in the same form that it ships on the PS4 and PC, also on the Xbox One. So no need to feel discriminated against if you happen to have an Xbone. But all that said, this game is currently scheduled for a late 2017 release, and I would personally expect a big gameplay demonstration at E3, probably at the soonest. My guess would be that they're going to wait for the huge turnout that they're going to have at E3, and they'll demonstrate even more. They'll bring it up again, and maybe then it will get the attention it deserves. But as for right now, you are a lucky one. You get to learn about this game early on, and hopefully you're as excited for it as I am. Hey, did you like that? Well, that was just an extra of the full show that I do every weekend. If you haven't seen it already, make sure you check out wherever the card is popping up, and subscribe. Goes up every weekend. It's like an hour long, ad-free. No reason not to. We have a great time. Won't be disappointed. Probably.